study of nutrition and dietetics is what gives us information that we communicate with you today and over time. As always, I'd like to say that if you're watching today and you are a physician, or you have a friend who is a physician, or you have a neighbor who is a physician, or you know a physician, please let them know that me, Dorcas Upe, is pleading that doctors should refer their patients to nutrition specialists, nutrition scientists, nutritionists, dietitians. All right? Refer them. If your patient is diabetic, please make sure they see a nutrition specialist. If your patient is hypertensive, if your patient is showing signs of CKD, chronic kidney disease, if your patient is underweight, if your patient is overweight, if your patient is depressed, different medical ailments give indications that you physicians, you doctors, will do good to refer your patients to nutrition specialists. All right? So that's my plea. I'm asking and pleading that happens. We've discussed diabetes on this program several times. We've discussed hypertension. We've discussed different medical complications, and we've discussed on the general terms what can be done to increase the effectiveness of the medication you're taking, or help you better manage the disease with nutrition. Because, take it from me, the medication is really, really important, but nutrition is really, really, really important. Why? Because this is what makes your body. Your body is made up, you've grown up because of the nutrients you consumed. You know, the carbohydrates, the proteins, the fats, all right? And vitamins and minerals, and water, and fiber, okay? It's a combination of all these that has enabled us to grow up into the adults that we are. And so what am I saying? You know, after all that, what are we talking about today? What is so special about today's program? Don't go away. Stay connected. Stay tuned. Stay logged on. I will be right back. Number one, carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body. Great food, but when you overconsume it, it just raises your blood sugar. The beauty about fiber is because you have to excrete it, it helps you to have bowel movements. Wine is good for the heart. Red wine is, but it's not 2 bottles at a time. The body has a very good way of telling you when it has a need, so we need to pay attention to our body. Thanks for staying connected with us here on Benue Television. All right, here it is. Today, we're going to talk about nutrition for children, childhood nutrition, from pregnancy, a little bit, to birth to 2 years, and after that. We're going to try to cover that. During pregnancy, our mothers know to consume really good food. Normally, the doctors will give our mothers vitamins to take with what they're eating to ensure that the children get these micronutrients I've been talking to you about that are really, really important for growth and for the body to function most effectively. Water. I'm holding water. I always do, because it's the most important nutrient that we need to consume. Mothers are encouraged to make sure that they drink adequate water, believe it or not, and also consume nutritious meals. Usually a sample diet is given in the hospital to all pregnant women, or we hope. There's always vitamins that pregnant women are given, particularly iron, to make sure that the baby grows up healthy. However, we're going to now talk about birth to 2 years. Okay? We had hours and hours. We could talk about the whole gamut of the 9 months of pregnancy. But birth to 2 years. Now, the most important food for a child to consume at birth is the breast milk. The mother's breast milk. Okay? For whatever reason, God created the breast milk without consulting any of us. It is the most wholesome food for a baby to consume. So from birth to 1 year old, especially, the child needs to consume the mother's breast milk. You know, sometimes in this environment, sometimes like if a child is born and maybe the mother dies, or the mother is not able to breastfeed, sometimes they find another woman, lactating woman, whose breasts are flowing, who just had a baby, to help breastfeed that child until either the mother is healthy enough to breastfeed the child, or if the mother has passed away, then they begin to find formulas that are made for children, for infants. Now, there are many formulas out there, pediatric formulas we call them. They go by different names. You go to the supermarket, you find Pediasure. It's one of the pediatric supplements. Pediasure. The Infamil is another one. So there's different ones, but I understand that for the most part, these recommendations are not made before the mother leaves the hospital. Anyway, so we're left to make sure that apart from the breast milk, the mother is fending for the baby by herself. She's trying to find what the baby can consume to grow into a healthy adult. So locally, we have a lot of good food that is not just good for adults, it's good for the children as well. A little while back, many of you heard that we launched a campaign. After we conducted an assessment in the 10 IDPs camps here in Benue State, there were 10 at that time, and based on our findings, we initiated a program. Yes, that program, you recall. 1 man, 1 egg, 1 woman, 1 egg program. Now, why did we do that? There's a boiled egg. All right. So apart from the breast milk, when a child can begin to consume solid food, all right. Now, one of the best foods we can give these babies, these children, up to, especially when they get to 8 months to 1 year old to 12 months, you can give them a boiled egg. All right. boiled. So, the egg is not going to like fall up on the table here. All right, see that? A boiled egg. All right, why a boiled egg? Now, a boiled egg is very, very nutritious. A boiled egg has almost all the nutrients that the child needs. All right, and that's why we initiated this program at the IDP's camp. When you eat a boiled egg, it's got about 110 calories, 210 calories. It's got protein, packed with protein. It's got carbohydrates. It's got fat. All right. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals, iron, potassium, phosphorus. Okay. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals. The only thing an egg doesn't have fiber. Okay. It doesn't have fiber, but an egg is the most wholesome food you can get. And so by the time the baby is a year old, you can boil an egg and squash it up. Okay, peel it like I'm peeling. Okay, let me finish peeling it. And okay, use a spoon and a little bowl and squash it up into little bitty pieces. All right, into little bitty pieces. Squash it up to little bitty pieces, and use a spoon to feed the baby. If you have a little bit of mayonnaise somewhere, some of you call it salad dressing, but there's mayonnaise. Okay, a little bit of that you can add to it to make it softer, so the baby can also enjoy that. At this point, the baby needs additional fat, so it's not like us out there who are overweight and trying to lose weight. But apart from the breast milk, next to that is the egg. The incredible edible egg, the boiled egg. And so that's why, out of all the foods and what we could do to help the children, because we found out that there was malnutrition in IDP's camps, in children 1 to 5 year olds in the IDP's camp. I still have that study, result of that study. So that's why we asked you guys out there to donate eggs. One man, one egg basically meant that if each person would donate one egg, it will help these children in the IDP's camp. So we used to take eggs to the IDP's camps and we'll boil them there with the children. They were very excited, always excited to help boil the eggs. After we boil them, we'll cool them down and then have them, each of them get an egg. Now when they got the egg, they had to stand there and hold the egg so we could see it before we asked them to now break it up and eat it before our eyes. Why did we do that? We didn't want the children to take the egg back to the moms that were collected and cook it and give it to their husbands. All right? We wanted to make sure that each child consumed the egg. And so for that day, the child that consumed the egg got a minimum of 10 grams of protein. 10 grams of protein. That's the amount of protein that most people do not get, sometimes in a whole week, not to mention the children. So yeah, I know you're sitting out there, you're watching me and you're saying eggs are very expensive. Yes, they are. But for the growth of a child, for a child who is malnourished, who is stunted, and malnutrition kills children every single day. There are malnourished children in the hospitals here. When you go there, if you want to know, go there and ask them. They'll show you. And so for parents out there who can spend about $1,000 a day to drink beer or something, if you can spare a few hundred naira to make sure that the child, especially the child is between the age of 1 and 5 years old, this is the point where growth is most important. The formation of brain, the brain activity, the nerve system, all the systems are growing very, very fast at this tender age. And that's when proper nutrition is very important. And so I'm very proud of the program, because up to today there are people who like the program so much that they still take boiled eggs to IDP camps. If you're watching this program, it can be 2 eggs, it can be 1 egg, it can be 5 eggs. If we can put our hands together to make sure that these children at these IDP camps get a boiled egg, if it's once a week, it's going to go a long way to helping them develop. You know, nutrients are what make food, what constitute our food. You know, we talk about potassium. I just want to take potassium for a second. You know, potassium helps to regulate heartbeat. Helps to regulate, just to give you an example. So if the potassium level in the body is too high, it can stop the heart. If it's too low, it can also stop the heart. And you remember I told you an egg contains also potassium and phosphorus. Lots of protein, carbohydrate, good fats. The omega-3 fatty acid, if you're familiar with it, you can Google it. It's one of the most important fats we can consume for better regulation, for the good health of our heart. Okay? And so that's the egg. Apart from the egg, you want to include cereal. Okay? It can be cornflakes. Okay? For carbohydrates that a child needs for energy. This is energy food. This is local. The egg is bought here. What is this? This is cereal. This is cooked, you know, cereal that you cook. You cook it with hot water. Some of you call it akama. Some of you call it pap. But it's cooked cereal, okay, that you can give the child as well for energy. It's also packed with vitamins and minerals. But next to the egg is the milk. Is the milk. All right, I'm going to come back to talk about milk. Now, it's important to give children fruits. Okay, this is usually a banana that you see me holding up. It's an AI banana. This is a real banana. I bought it today. It's a real banana. This constitutes 1 serving of a banana. Okay, so I've always told you, if you have a longer banana, cut it in half and share it. But this constitutes 1 serving of a banana. Now for a child, again, you can peel the banana, chop it up, okay, and use a spoon to feed a banana. Bananas are packed with potassium. They have carbohydrates. They're sweet, you know. They have the complex carbohydrates, and they also have the simple sugars. That's why they're naturally sweet, is the sugar. Okay, so in the morning you want to make sure that your child has a fruit, good protein, cereal for energy, and lots of vitamins and minerals as well. And so you want to make sure that you give the child that. And like I said, this is either in form of like cornflakes. This is pap. This is made from corn, local corn here. And so most of what we have here is local food. You know, I mean, some of the cereals are imported, but it's local food. Anyway, so that's in the morning, breakfast. Okay, the first meal of the day in the morning, a meal like that. I want to come back and talk about milk. Okay, the importance of milk in the diet of our children. And then we'll also talk about the meals after the first meal of the day. Breakfast means the first meal of the day. All right, coming back to talk about milk and the rest of the meals for today, and possible snacks that the children can have. All right, don't go away, don't log off, don't turn away, stay connected to Benue Television. We'll be right back. Number one, carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body.
Great food, but when you overconsume it, it just raises your blood sugar.
The beauty about fiber is because you have to excrete it, it helps you to have bowel movements.
Wine is good for the heart. Red wine is, but it's not 2 bottles at a time.
The body has a very good way of telling you when it has a need, so we need to pay attention to our body. Right back here. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for staying logged on to Benue Television. All right, water. Okay, children need water as well. Granted, the foods naturally have water, but we do need to give them water to drink, just like we adults drink water when we have a meal. I know some of you don't drink water with your meals, but it's important to drink water. 4 to 6 ounces of water for a child. It's not bad with, after they've eaten their meals, okay? And giving them water between meals is very healthy as well. Milk, as promised, milk. Last program, I discussed milk with you. Milk comes from cows. All right, comes from cows. And the unfortunate thing is we don't have enough milk to feed our children. Milk is packed with nutrients that our children need to grow. Just like an egg, milk is a great source of calcium, protein, carbohydrates, phosphorus, lots and lots of vitamins and minerals. Okay, the main source of protein and calcium is milk. The main source of protein and calcium is cheese. Main source of protein and calcium is yogurt. And guess what? All three of them come from cows, cattle. What am I saying? How many of you know where we actually produce milk here in Benue State? There's a place close to the railway. A lot of people say that they produce dairy products there. I don't recall the name. But if you travel to other African countries, I'm not even going to talk about US and Europe. Other African countries, small countries, population less than Nigeria, they produce milk, fresh milk. Why? They have ranches. They ranch their cattle. They grow their cattle. And they milk the cattle and deliver the milk to the dairy farmers, to the dairy industry. And there they use the milk from the cattle, the milk that they milk from the cattle, and process it into fresh, wholesome milk for all of us to drink, especially children. And right there, the dairy industry, dairy factory, they also produce cheese. They also produce yogurt and other products. But these key products that are needed for growth and repair, because the main ingredient, the main nutrient for growth and repair is protein. And the best sources of protein are milk, eggs, meat, and chicken, beef. So when you look at it, this and this come from cattle. And then I have a slice of cheese somewhere from cattle. If you are a farmer, a livestock farmer, it's really important for us to make sure that our cattle are ranched so that they can eat better and produce fresh milk for our children. I've mentioned several times the children here in Benue State, based on the study we conducted at the IDP's camp, we have over 30% of our children who are stunted between the ages of 1 and 5 years old, and even older. Stunted at 30%. Almost 20% are malnourished. That's undernutrition, not overnutrition. Malnutrition means you're either undernourished or overnourished. Okay, overnutrition typically refers to the people who are out there who are grossly overweight, obese. Our children that you see right now, especially right now, they are severely malnourished. And to prevent malnutrition, to prevent undernutrition, is to ensure a balanced diet, and it starts with protein for growth and repair. You go to your carbohydrates that you need for energy, your fats, okay, your vitamins, your minerals, your water, and your fiber. Okay, so we are the food basket of the nation, and farming doesn't mean crops alone. Livestock is very important. Livestock. So livestock, we need cattle, and we need eggs, chicken. So your farmers out there, some of you need to diversify. We need more farmers, chicken farmers, poultry farmers, so we can get more eggs. When we have more poultry farmers, the eggs will not be so expensive, and our children will be able to benefit from this wholesome food. One egg producing 150 to 200 calories, 11 grams of protein. That's a lot. All right? That's my plea. We need livestock farmers. We need cattle. We need chicken. Well, fish and goats and rabbits and all that is good. But for our children, today I'm talking about children, these two livestock are really important. Beef, cattle, chicken. All right? This is non-political. This is a nutrition scientist pleading with you to make sure that our children are healthy. All right? Okay, so that's that. Finally, the second meal or third meal of the day. Okay, we have to make sure that at each meal you had an egg in the morning, milk if you find it, and then later on when we feed the children, we need another source of protein. Beef or cattle, a piece of beef meat, right? Or chicken. This is chicken breast. There's no bone. Okay, you know, serving sizes are important. These constitute the proper servings. Okay, 4 to 6 ounces. Okay, so this is from the ranched cattle again. This is from livestock, chicken. All right. Now, apart from the meat, you want to make sure that you have a starch. This is a potato. All right. Again, they're very expensive. We need more potato farmers. Okay. For a kid, half a potato would be very good. This is broccoli. Okay. We need to make sure that they have at least 2 vegetables that have 2 different colors. This is carrots, and this is broccoli. It can be carrots and spinach. All right. But you want them to have 2 different color vegetables. Okay. Carrots, you know, carrots are full of high lycopene. Broccoli, green, lots of fiber in the broccoli, vitamins and minerals here. We want to make sure carrots, I'm sorry, not lycopene. Lycopene is tomato. Carrots are high in carotene. We want to make sure that our children grow healthy. And so you had a banana earlier. Now you can have an orange. Okay, you can have an orange. If the child is 5 years old and cannot suck an orange, it's simple. You peel it and squeeze it in a cup and give the child to drink. If the child is about 2 years old, you can peel it, cut it in half, and give them to chew on it, suck, get the juice, and then also eat the fiber part of it. It's good for the body. It's good for even children. Okay, and then a snack between these meals can be another fruit. Okay, can be another fruit. Mangoes are not in season anymore. A half slice of a mango can constitute a very good snack with milk. We need milk. All right. Okay, so for children, this is what we need to do to make sure that they grow up healthy. Not sure if there are questions out there, or people are trying to ask questions, but I'm going to come back and conclude. And so if there are questions, we'll take them. However, I'm going to come back and conclude this program today. But remember, we were all once children, and our parents did their best to feed us. Some of them didn't know much, but the doctors encouraged them, the neighbors, the family members. And so it's really important to make sure that things are hard, but we make sure that we get the right food for our children. So stay connected. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Number one, carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body.
Great food, but when you overconsume it, it just raises your blood sugar.
The beauty about fiber is because you have to excrete it, it helps you to have bowel movements.
Wine is good for the heart. Red wine is, but it's not 2 bottles at a time.
The body has a very good way of telling you when it has a need, so we need to pay attention to our body. All right then. Thanks for staying with us on Benue Television. Live healthy with Dorcas Upe. Today it's about our children. I couldn't conclude this program without talking about these guys here. All right, the red, the orange, the pinkish, but the water is here. Okay, liquids. These constitute liquids. I know there's some of you watching that would say that out of the liquids, the cheapest is one of these. What's in here? Water. Not bad. It's got water. And what else? Sugar. Sugar is good. It's energy. What else? Color. Color and some other preservatives maybe to make sure that this has a long shelf life until we buy it. And so the difference between this and this is probably, the 2 different companies, but the color. Okay, the color. There's color that is added to it to make them look beautiful. Don't they just look beautiful? There's color that is added to it. Color that we don't need. Number one, carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body.
Great food, but when you overconsume it, it just raises your blood sugar.
The beauty about fiber is because you have to excrete it, it helps you to have bowel movements.
Wine is good for the heart. Red wine is, but it's not 2 bottles at a time.
The body has a very good way of telling you when it has a need, so we need to pay attention to our body. Thanks for staying with us. Yeah, we're talking about these guys. Okay, the orange, the red, the dark brown join us as well. Okay, there are soft drinks. Some of you call them. Some of you call them soda water. Some of you call them different names. But like I said, the difference between this guy, and this guy is the color. There are different colors added to them. They all have additives, preservatives, and they're made with water and lots of sugar. Now, they're not all bad, okay? There are people out there who have diabetes, and when your blood sugar goes down too low, these guys are good because if somebody has low blood sugar, they're experiencing low blood sugar, and they take one of these, it will bring up the blood sugar level immediately. So they do have their own uses. We just don't suggest that they replace water in the diet of our children. We're not saying that, oh, don't ever give your kids soft drinks. There's a place for them, but don't let them replace water and milk. Okay? Water, milk, water, milk. These are the key liquids that our children need to drink. There are other snacks that are made. This is gelatin. Gelatin is, in a way, sort of is edible. You use a spoon to eat it instead of drinking it. It's kind of like this guy's here. It makes a good snack. All right, but the best snack that we can give our kids would be a snack of a fruit. All right, banana, orange. If mango is in season, is good. Watermelon, a slice of watermelon without the seeds is good for the kids to eat. You give them a fruit, and usually in most cases, the best liquid, the best beverage to give our children. Again, I'm talking about children that are between 1 and 5 years old. The best drink is the milk. All right, and so water is always the best choice, even for children. Please give your children water with their meals and water with a snack between meals. A lot of times people get constipated because they're not drinking enough water. Sometimes people will experience different ailments because they're not drinking enough water. And so water is so important. It's a great component of a lot of drinks. But to drink water by itself is one of the best gifts we can give ourselves and our children as well. And so this comes to the end of our program today. And as I said, if you just join us, just log on. What I'm saying is that our children, many of our children right now are undernourished. Some of them are in hospitals. Some of them are home because the parents cannot take them to the hospitals. Again, my plea is that these children in the hospital, their parents that have different medical conditions, whether it's diabetes or high blood pressure or heart disease, chronic kidney disease, obesity, different depression, different medical conditions, there's a need for nutrition education. And as a nutrition scientist, again, I'm pleading that our doctors, our physicians refer these patients to nutritionists, dietitians, nutrition scientists that we have out there. If you need to contact one, let me know. I can simply refer you to one. There are a good number of them here in the Benue area to make sure that proper education, proper nutrition education is provided. Again, nutrition is a science. It's not your opinion. Okay? All right. This is Live Healthy with Dorcas Ukwe. My name is Dorcas Ukwe, right here on Benue Television. If it's Thursday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., log on to Benue Television and join us live. I would love to take your questions. Make sure you send in your comments so that we can respond. It's by you watching and providing the comments that will make our program even better. All right? Thank you. Stay blessed. Number one, carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body.
Great food, but when you overconsume it, it just raises your blood sugar.
The beauty about fiber is because you have to excrete it, it helps you to have bowel movements.
Wine is good for the heart. Red wine is, but it's not 2 bottles at a time.
The body has a very good way of telling you when it has a need, so we need to pay attention to our body.